Now we'll break for coffee, tea break, and we'll be joining in 10-15 minutes. Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, so we are about to enter the last leg of the day, and the most important and a very different perspective altogether. So before we start that, I actually had a couple of things to share with you guys. One is, you saw a range of things today. Very unstructured idea being tried out to something which is running for 20 years. So you can really see the spread of dreamers and their doing and how it's going, etc. The last section we actually thought we'll cover it from a business angle itself. So CSR has been a very big buzzword many times, but I guess it has also done a lot of impact in varieties of ways. We actually have a few very senior experts out here who have actually lived through the whole thing. That I think we'll listen to them. We'll also get their insights through a panel discussion, etc. While we do that, while we're putting together this conference, we said we'll actually look at something a little more differently. So Chinmay, if you can come over. So he actually led a small study around, say, top 100 companies in the country, how their CSR spending is all about. And if you really look at the way it has been spread till now, how does it really look? That was purely to really look at from an academic point of view, where is the money, where is it going at this point in time? And then actually lead a discussion around what does the law say today and what are the practices that we actually have in the country today and how it's going to really change, given that there is a government intervention as well in terms of company law and everything else. So that was the premise of it. So we'll do two things. One, Chinmay actually will run through a small study report that was carried out, just for information, but that will be available for all of you to really refer back in our website and everything else. The other one change is, I think we have K.S. Kumar. He might have to leave a little earlier than the panel discussion come to. So for a change of the day, after his talk, I think we can have a few minutes of Q&A as well to cover his portion of it, and then we'll continue the panel, if that's okay with you guys. Is that okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Hebar. Hello, everyone. I am Chinmay Kale, and I'm a volunteer with Entirely So. And as Hebar has briefed, we carried out a small study just to look at what is the current CSR spending pattern and behavior of companies. So this is as per a financial year 13-14. And we tried to put some insights together, which I'd like to share with you. So in the first is the contours of the CSR that is now applicable to all industries, is that Section 135 of the Companies Act is now a law, which means, and the way it is defined is that all companies which have a net worth of 500 crores plus, or a turnover of 1,000 crores plus, or net profit of 5 crores, mandatorily have to spend 2% of net profits in any of these activities, which have been defined as per Companies Act. So it's regarding poverty or sports or gender equality, and there's also a shortcut of contribution to PM's fund. But the way it has been defined actually means that there will be around 6,000 companies now which will fall in scope within this law. And analysts have estimated that approximately 22,000 crores would be pumped in to CSR in this financial year, current financial year. And there's also one small catch. Companies have conveniently interpreted the net profits here to mean PAT, but actually if you go a little deeper, it is actually PBT, profit before tax. So income tax is not allowed as a exclusion in the calculations. So this is how basically the chart of spending looks like. So we have looked at about top 100 companies which are listed on the BSE by revenues, and we tried to plot data which is on the y-axis is the actual spend which the companies have disclosed, and on the x-axis is what would have been a mandated spend as per law, which is the 2%. So and the diagonal line actually indicates the par line. Basically what it means is that if you're above that line as per your current spend, you are meeting the law as of now. If you're below the line, you are below par. Basically you have a gap to bridge. And the spend deficit arrow, it's actually the distance or the gap in funds that you need to bridge to comply. So there are a few companies, so out of the 100 companies that we looked at, only about 70% have actually disclosed how much they are actually spending on CSR. So this is a plot of 70 companies. And out of that, you can see only about 7 which are currently meeting at least, which are at bare minimum of 2%. All these companies here above this line. So the guy over, oops. The guy on top is Reliance. There are a few companies, this is Tata Steel. And then there's Mahindra, and there are a few others. But these are companies who have been proactive, who have led initiatives, and at least from a spend perspective are complying to the law as per now. A few insights, which I already shared, 70% companies have disclosed. And almost 20% companies have a gap of almost 100 crores plus, which they need to bridge, right, the spend deficit. And just from this sample data that we collected, we have seen that banking and finance and IT companies are the biggest underspenders. So basically what it means is that they have the largest gap to bridge. Anywhere between 3x to 9x kind of a scaling they need to do as per the current regulations. And steel companies are basically almost at par, and some are even above par. The cumulative spend of all these companies today, top 100, stands at about 4,500 crores. And the mandated spend is 9,000 crores, and actually 9,500 crores. So in general, if we make a general blanket statement, the industry needs to actually double its spend on CSR. This is the view on, okay, we looked at how much money is being spent. So what is the area, what are those areas where this money is getting spent? So this percentage is basically the distribution of initiatives which have been bucketed around these areas. So one single company can actually have multiple initiatives going on around all these different areas. Not necessarily, what you have found is most of the companies do spread out the initiatives across different kinds of areas of impact and not necessarily have focus on any one. But what we have found is that almost 46% of companies focus their initiatives around health and education, right? So like IT skills training or supporting schools are the most common kind of initiatives. On the health sector side, eye camps, blood donation camps, cardiac treatment, those kind of camps and employee health checkups are the most common kind of initiatives they are doing. Some others are around donation of ambulances or setting up some basic infrastructure in villages. As you can also see, any initiative with regarding to economic development or women-centric initiatives are the least favored, combinedly accounting for only 24% of initiatives. So essentially, what I think we can draw from this is that most of the initiatives are short-sighted and they are not really creating a long-term sustainable impact. Most of them are maybe like one-off projects that companies are running. And I believe that they are looking only at a compliance-led view. The entire spending is more like a tick-in-the-box approach that the companies want to take just to ensure compliance. So I think the basic questions that we should try to answer and that I want to leave with you is, what is the way forward? So there's an example that comes to my mind. Tata Steel as a conglomerate, Tata Group as a conglomerate spends around 1,000 crores every year just on CSR. It is the biggest, largest spender in India today as a conglomerate. And out of the 1,000 crores, Tata Steel alone contributes more than 200 crores on CSR activities. So I think one of the examples is read about is Tata Steel have a very significant intervention in primary healthcare, where they were able to touch and influence almost 419,000 people. And they also run a project called Mansi, which actually is focused, very targeted initiative, which has actually reduced the infant mortality rate from 6% to 1%. So I think what the message I'm trying to give you is, we are looking at such powerful initiatives, impact-driven initiatives, long-term impact-creating initiatives, which I think is the way forward. I think question to answer is whether we are looking for corporations to be altruistic towards CSR and whether companies really believe that creating scale and sustainability over a long term is really the way forward to go. So I think what this slide is trying to show is, I think we are here today given what the data is indicating, but I think to really create a bottom line impact, I think we should look at all these different angles, new interesting business models and partnerships to really see the scale. I mean, this is given the kind of money that is about to flow and the companies are mandated to spend. I think what is it that we need to do, or what is it that the entire ecosystem needs to do to ensure that we create a very strong impact, and I think we need to debate on how should we get from point A to point B. So I leave you with that, and for any questions and details, you can contact us on this address. So thank you, and I would now like to invite Mr. K.S. Kumar. He's the Corporate EVP and CCO, Chief Commercial Officer for Sutherland, to share his view on CSR transformations. Thank you.